What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 563rd episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, Steve. With me is Greg.
Hello, I am here with a public service announcement. Chandelure's Unite move is too loud.
Oh, no.
It is. It makes you jump. It is so loud. It is.
Spooky.
I'm pretty sure it's louder than Clefairy's Moonlight, which was obnoxious, and it's louder than Duraludon's Release. When I heard it, I thought people were joking. I'm like, oh, it can't be that. I heard it the first time. I'm like, what just happened? It's terrifying. We need a bug fix immediately.
Is it to the point where it's actually painful?
Yes.
That's a problem.
If you're wearing headphones, I'm like, I don't know how you're not had a hearing loss at this point. It is so loud.
Hannah also here.
Yeah, I have nothing as exciting as that. My cat's not as unhappy about the apartment anymore. She is starting to adjust.
Yay! Welcome to the new world, kitty.
I was going to say, welcome to cat updates. We had moving
My
updates,
dogs
now
are
we
fine.
moved on to cat updates.
The most exciting things in my world right now.
Hey, that's okay.
Till we get a new Pokemon game. Or the updates. The DLC.
Yeah, that's November.
Yeah. It's,
Maybe October, whenever.
Yeah. Autumn. Could be sooner.
Could be
It was
sooner.
meant to be a summer one.
Well, speaking of summer, Niantic is starting to unveil their summer plans. So we actually have a lot of Pokemon Go news after not talking about Pokemon Go for the last 3 weeks or something like that. It's been a while. So a little bit of a Pokemon Go heavy episode, and then Inteleon was announced shortly after we hit the stop recording last week, and then they decided not to give us any time off. They're just like, you like raids? Because every other week is a new raid.
I mean, we're now into this pattern, right? Like, Inteleon's done, and then which one's coming next, are we assuming?
Okay, so there are
Rillaboom.
specific Pokemon in the code. This was the same for Sword and Shield, where we knew that like Snorlax was in the code as a Gigantamax, but he wasn't available right away. And then I think like 30 days later, Snorlax was available. I also knew like Gigantamax Melmetal was in the code, but they saved that for the DLC, even though he was in the game the entire time. But like Venusaur and Blastoise were not in base Sword and Shield. They were added to the DLC. So what is left in the code, besides like most legendary Pokemon, like Mewtwo is in the code, is, I almost said Incineroar. Gosh, I wish. Rillaboom is left, Delphox is left, and Chesnaught is left. So sorry to any Empoleon lovers, Meganium lovers, for they're not in the game at all
Yet.
yet. I'm sure when the DLC comes, I feel like the safest bet in the entire world is Blastoise and Venusaur will definitely be part of the DLC.
Oh, absolutely.
Gotta satisfy Kanto lovers.
You got to.
So by patterns, do we think Fire is next? Do we think they're going to do Delphox?
I feel like they got to do Chestnut next. You can't save him for last. No one likes him.
Yeah, you save him for last when home integration's right around the corner. So people are like, I don't have to do this. I'm just going to import the one that I got. Look, Will loves Chespin, so like I feel like there's a little love out there. It's a big paladin-y Pokemon.
Yeah, but Will doesn't like raids.
Look, if we were going to sit here and list a thought of things that Will doesn't like, we're going to be here for 15 hours.
It's true. Hey, Will was ambitious enough to come out for Community Day
On his broken foot.
on his broken foot.
Oh,
And he
got it.
He did a couple laps.
For a Swinub?
He
He did, yeah. He came out. Yeah, it was just me and Will at the mall.
I meant to come, and then I got held up, and I'm like, oh, by the time I left this place and drove out to the Mall of America, it's done. I'm not making it. Okay, here's the thing. Will doesn't listen to me. Go to Twitter and look at his tweet, because he finally admitted he should listen to me. He was explaining what happened. I said, Will, you broke your foot. He's like, I don't think I did. I said, Will, you have broken your foot. but trust me when I tell you, you broke your foot. He's like, nah, it's fine. I said, fine, don't listen to me. What happened? He broke his foot.
Oh,
He broke it
I mean,
for
at least
the
now he knows.
for the listeners. He broke it moving furniture because he just moved.
Yes. He stubbed his toe. Like, little toes break all the time. Both of my little toes are broken from when I was a kid. And what do? They're like, let's put a boot on you and have fun. It'll heal.
So yeah, we have 3 Pokemon left. I guess if they're not repeating any Tera types, what do we got? We got like Fairy, Dark, Ground. Fighting has already been used. There hasn't been
Ghost
18.
has been used.
Ghost has been used. I think Fairy makes the most sense for Delphox, because ideally, if Delphox is Fairy, Fairy is weak to poison, but Delphox's natural type is Psychic. And then if Delphox is also weak to Steel, because Fairy is weak to Steel, Delphox's other natural type is Fire. So
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense. Rillaboom is like kind of weird. I guess like if Rillaboom was ground, you would bring water or grass, and he has a counter for water, which is grass. He doesn't really have a counter for grass, so that I don't think makes. I don't know. I guess Rillaboom could maybe
that
be
was a tough one to figure out.
dark. See, like there were so many people that were like, "Why is Samurott bug?" But it like made so much sense. It like had counters to
Yeah.
the bug.
There is some logic there.
Yeah.
Because Rillaboom's just pure grass type, right? I'm not making that up.
Yeah. No, Rillaboom's
It's
pure
just grass.
Rillaboom does get access to Boom Burst, which is like a 140 normal type move, but Rillaboom's special attack is so bad, and that's a special attack. So I don't think normal type Rillaboom is even exciting, but I guess Boom Burst would make sense if they were going for like a theme of
Yeah.
music.
I mean, its special attack is real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 60, where its attack is 125.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like its level up moveset is not and has never been all that exciting. Like, it's a lot of normal.
Okay, they could. This is my. They could make Rillaboom electric, which would kind of make sense because like drummers need to like plug. They don't micro like the stage you plug in everything. But okay, so this is hear me out. Hear me out. They make it electric. Electric is only weak to ground, but because Rillaboom's ability is Grassy Surge, some ground type moves get reduced in Grassy Surge. So like Earthquake and I think it's like High Horsepower do half the damage in Grassy Surge.
Okay.
And if they bring ground, Rillaboom's naturally super effective against that because it's grass. I don't think it gets
That
a
could
single
work.
electric type move though. So Terra Blast it is.
No, it does not. I am
Terra Blast it is.
looking in here. Nope.
I don't think we've had an electric Terra
It's
type.
got a
though.
really not great moveset.
Yeah, Rillaboom's moveset's it was very good in Sword and Shield, but I believe they removed Knockoff, they removed
Yeah.
Grassy Glide. I don't remember if it knows Superpower. I think it got Superpower in Gen 8. You get Sunny Day.
Yeah.
You get Stomp and Tantrum. Anyways,
Got Drain Punch.
and then Chesnaught is normally grass fighting, so
That's going to be Psychic type.
now, do we already have a psychic?
I don't. Look, I
think so.
am paying little attention to what I'm saying.
Okay. So, it feels weird because, like, if they were going at their pace of like it was like one every 3 weeks. We were saying like once a month, but realistically, it was like once every 3 weeks. If they were
Yeah.
going at that pace, that would have taken us to DLC. But then, for whatever reason, they were like, That's
Pick up the pace.
pick up the pace. So now we only have 3 left, and we have all summer. I guess they could repeat, but they already repeat the
I
second
imagine they're
week.
going to have to repeat some.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel like we are facing their weird decision to have these in raids before they do home connection.
Right.
Which, again, why do you... I don't understand why they care about people bringing in things from home after the game has been out for almost 6 months now. It's... the weird decisions that they go into, like, play our game this way and do our rules and get them the way that we want, this way only. It's just bizarre to me.
Yeah, and it's also like, it's like a vocal minority, right? Like, how many people are playing this game daily and still like dying for home besides like the like 200 people that are screaming every day at Joe Sarumi on Twitter for it?
I feel like almost anybody who's still playing this game daily could benefit from home.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if there's like a person out there who like finished they got credits and they're like, gosh, I'm waiting to bring my Grookey over so I can like spin in circles and breed it. Like, I think that's such a
Breeding is so not fun in this game,
I think
too.
that's just like
Well, that's
such
why
a
you need
small-
home. You need home to mass release them.
Oh, you do need home to mass relief. Believe me.
But even
would
like Greg's
love
point,
to.
like, okay, the Home comes out tomorrow, so, and then Rillaboom comes out after that. Like, I still want to do the Rillaboom because I think that the raid is fun, and I want the Rillaboom with the Mighty Mark, and I'm pretty sure that would be the first time you could get Grookey in an Apricorn ball.
Right.
So there's like they created their own like, this is still worth doing if you have it system, which is great. That's like super good for them to create that, and then they're so, like, it doesn't matter if people could move their Grookies over because there's still an audience that, and even if you're like, I hate raids, if your name is Will and you're like, I hate raids, once I did the Grookey, I could just trade him an egg. It's
Right.
like, why?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't... This is one of those... I always feel like this is one of those times when you go into a corporation and you're like, why do you do it this way? And like, well, we've always done it this way. And you're like, okay, but why? And that is it. We've always done it this way. And that is the reason. Because it doesn't make a ton of sense. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's speaking of raids, I guess let's get Intellion out of the way. Intellion showed up.
Yep.
It
went pew pew pew.
Ice is a very bad territory. Ice is just a bad type in general. It's just not good. Ice also only has one resistance, and that is ice. Ice resists ice. So there's a lot it's not doing. It had a cool moveset though. It had Snipe Shot, of course, with the ability Sniper. It had Blizzard and Snowscape, so it's like a really cool combo. Because Snowscape is different than Hail. I think most people like the changes from Hail to Snowscape, although
Yeah.
they did Frostbite in Legends Arceus, and that didn't come back.
Nah, it should have, though.
Yeah, Frostbite
Yeah.
was kind of cool. Also, they didn't have Sleep in Legends Arceus. They had Drowsy, not to be confused with the Pokemon.
What was it called, Drowsy?
I don't think so. I think it had a different name. Maybe.
It had something.
Yeah,
It was different, though.
yeah, but you weren't fully asleep. It was like 50-50 of whether you were attacking or like dozing. Was it called dozing? What was it called? I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know. It had a name.
Intellion also had Tearful Look, which lowers both your attack and your special attack.
It was called Drowsy.
Not to be confused with the Pokemon. And then it had Mist, not to be confused with Haze. So Mist would prevent you from using moves like Acid Spray or Snarl or what else does that? Mystical Fire, Mud Shot, Mud Slap. You could still use those moves and they would still do damage. They just wouldn't have the secondary status effects. So it was pretty cool in the sense, like I think like what it was trying to do for those maybe who did it once and then never did it again. It was ultimately trying to prevent like a one shot strategy, right? It was designed to just slow you down, and I think it did that successfully. Whether or not like you were like, well, I just sat there and I just hit Drain Punch over and over. Yeah, sure, but like it still did its theme of like slowing you down. That's really all. Unless you had Defiant, then I guess it was triggering your Defiant with Tearful Love. But
yeah.
There's not like a lot of defoggers. There was a way to remove the mists, and like Corviknight and Frostmoth, I think, were like the two best defoggers that you could do. So there were ways around it.
It was interesting. Again, your mileage varied on how easy or difficult it was. I just brought, look, I love Gardevoir. I just made a Gardevoir and Sunny Day skill swap and then healed with Life Dew because there was a lot of really bad randoms. Game raid still buggy, still not great to sit in those sometimes when you're like, what is happening? Why can't I move?
I do see anything, it all freezes.
I do feel like instead, okay, so I think it is better, but in a different way.
In what manner is it better, please?
So before they fixed it, I felt like you really didn't get stuck unless you went into the cheer menu. And it was always like when you went into the cheer menu when somebody else was cheering is when it did for sure get stuck. So like you would go over to heal cheer and then somebody else, you would see like the green lines pop up. And then I was like, oh no, I'm about to get stuck. And then I did. And the only way I got unstuck was when like the boss, like the camera pans to the boss when the boss like clears. That was like the only way I got unstuck. Ever since like 1.2, a little after 1.2, I felt like you don't get stuck there anymore. But what it does is like the whole raid will have this really long pause. And everyone just sits there and is waiting at the same time. So you're not stuck in a menu. You're just kind of like looking at all 5 Pokemon on screen, being like, "What? Hello?" And then like and then it like all resumes. So I think that was their like temporary fix. Unless I'm just like making things up, but I've noticed that like huge pause over getting stuck in a menu.
Both.
Are you certain that other people are experiencing it at the same time?
Yeah, we don't know. Also, I love getting stuck where my camera is mostly in the floor.
Oh yeah,
and I'm just getting upshots of everybody's skirts for no good reason. Like, what is happening? And the weird thing is that, like, you can see move animations go through the floor in super weird ways. I'm like, why am I here?
That's just to make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah, I guess.
And they're like, look, they're better in like the sake of like 2% better.
Not worth
Any
it.
improvement's an improvement.
No.
They're for sure like at least 2% better.
I mean, meanwhile, I can't move through a menu in Unite to save my soul. So
There is that.
Like, none of it's great right now. But yeah, I Inteleon was fine. Like, its opening moves, I'm like, oh, it's doing this. But I'm sort of... We now have, like, the sort of weird pattern that I hope they break of 2 quick, sudden moves. How are you going to deal with it? It's like, okay. So, like, we just are now waiting for the first person to do it to find out what the 2 quick, sudden moves are and then how to immediately counteract what it just did, right? Like, oh, throw up Sunny Day.
Yeah.
To undo
Well, you don't have
what
to
it
throw up
just
Sunny
did.
Day, but literally, if one person
should.
did that, it made the whole raid 10 times easier. At least
Yeah, it was
2%
like if you-
easier, some would say.
It was like if you could taunt Decidueye so it couldn't do its swords dance at shields, like it made it a lot easier. Like once you sort of figure out the pattern, but that is the way of raids though. Once you figure out the pattern, it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, that
is just how raids are.
That's the puzzle.
I just think I would like a different beginning puzzle for some of these other ones instead of like it's going to do two things right away that you can't react to.
I don't like mind that because it does, like in the case of Intelli, like, you know, you look back at old raids and like or most situations in Pokemon, if you're playing with a group and you have 4 people, it's like, okay, this one's a special attacker, so somebody set light screen. This one's a physical attacker, somebody set reflect. There's like really no reason to do that unless in the situation of Samurott, you're like, well, this is pointless because you're just going to crit through anyways. But it's like, okay, well, somebody set up a screen. Okay, somebody start using acid spray, or somebody start using, I don't know, like bulk up or howl, or right, like when this was the first raid boss that was like, you can't do that to me because I'm setting mist,
Right.
and I'm doing it before you can even taunt. So I think that is cool. Obviously, there is a move that gets around that. That move is defog, but you're very limited to Pokemon choices, and it just happened that the 2 Pokemon that got defog were pretty okay against Inteleon. So I don't mind the like 2. You like Decidueye didn't have that at all though, but like the 2 moves before the turn 0 moves, I guess. I guess if they wanted to make it like harder, even though I think they are hard enough. Like again, just go online with randoms and you'll be like, oh well, this level 83 Frigifridge is not going to be able to do anything. Like we're just auto losing here. Or this like level 59 Tinkaton is getting one shot by everything, even with Sun Up and Light Screen and Reflect and like. So I think they're hard enough. I don't think that's the problem. But if they wanted to make them harder, which I think a lot of raids go into, like Destiny has a harder version of the same exact raid. Final Fantasy has a harder version. World of Warcraft has a harder. They're the same raid. It's just like, this is the hard mode, right? If they wanted to make them harder, the AI needs to be just smarter. Like the AI, at least in this case with Inteleon, when you use Tearful Look against a Defiant Pokemon, you are actually giving it an advantage. So if the AI was smart enough to be like, oh, you have something that counters Tearful Look, we're not going to use Tearful Look on you, but we're going to use it on the other Pokemon. And if I am setting Sun, the boss should be like, no, I'm going to reset Snow, because it only sets Snow like exactly like 5 turns later or something. So I could see them, and again, it was like, well, if they can do 2 moves for free before you even do 1, they can introduce that in multiple steps to make it harder if they wanted to. I do think that would be cool though, to have like a even harder version of the raid for those that just want to do that, like those that want to coordinate. I think, you know, you do see people come up with like, oh, I did like Anger Point, Tauros, Frostlass, Power Spot, Stonejourner, like you see 4 people coordinate like, how can we do the most damage? And that's like fun to those people, right? To like figure out that puzzle. So, but I guess 3 steps back, we still get stuck in raids. So
Yeah, I was
maybe
going to
fix
say,
that
we
too.
still need to fix them first.
We should have done a competitive ability kilowatt troll and made that work. Do that for the next weekend.
Competitive.
Give yourself a challenge. Electric flying. It's got competitive.
I mean, we made a Spoink work because it had thick fat,
Yeah.
and we put a Selfest on it, and he was just this little piggy doing like snarl over and over because we were able to defog it. It was like, you can make a lot of cool Pokemon work.
You can make a lot of things
And
work.
I think that's
I'm
also
challenging
part of
you-
the fun.
I'm challenging you, the listener, to do a Kilowattrel Inteleon.
I remember seeing a video on Reddit that was 4 Pikachu taking out the 7-star Pikachu when that came, and that was like really cute and really fun.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's like the great thing about Pokemon is you can make it as challenging or as difficult as you want. Like, yep, you can go in and you can hit Drain Punch over and over with Annihilate, or you can bring a Finneon and put an Eviolite on it and use your own Mist against against Inteleon. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they do next. Inteleon repeats for the next week. Let me look at my calendar here. So Inteleon will repeat the 4th, or technically the 5th through the 8th. When this podcast goes up, Walking Wake and Iron Leaves should be back in raids, and they'll run for 2 weeks. If you've already caught it, you can't catch it again. You can still do them. They are level 75, so most level 100 should be okay. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think Golden Go was pretty good against Iron Leaves, and then I think Belly Bolt was pretty good against Walking Wake. I think Walking Wake was pure water, right?
Don't remember that, but I remember my Belly Bolt was great.
Yeah, I think well, it's Water Dragon, but I think it's Water Tera type, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Those were just I'll put up a counter graphic, but those were like the top 2 I remember, like not struggling at all with those Pokemon.
I look forward to them eventually getting Pokedex entries someday.
The DLC, and where there'll probably be like 300 of them walking around in the wild. Okay, so Walking Wake coming back, Walking Wake, Iron Leaves coming back, Inteleon coming back. Global Challenge 3 starts on the 5th and goes to the 8th. So 3 different things you can do this weekend, I suppose. Walking Wake, Inteleon, Iron Leaves, Global Challenge.
Or you can go to MagicCon Minneapolis, because that's where I'll be.
Oh yeah, that's this weekend. Did that sell out?
This is a coming weekend.
They didn't sell out, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I realized there was a 24-hour diner across from that convention center, and it's pretty good. I can't remember what it's called. A little expensive, though. I'm always looking for 24-hour places.
I know, because you have the most messed up sleep schedule.
Yeah.
You're like, where can I go to eat at 3 a.m.?
That isn't
Nowhere.
McDonald's.
Because people should be asleep.
No, I need to support those third shift workers.
No, you should make it so that they don't have to work the third shift. Let them live.
What if
You're
they
the
have
reason
the
why they're like, we
same-
need to have somebody staffed, because there's this weirdo that shows up after his stream all
What
the
if they
time.
have the same weird sleep schedule? I'm supporting their lifestyles. The global challenge is also
Are you talking about the Nicklet Diner?
yes,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, they're very LGBTQ. We like them.
Yeah. They had a unisex
That's that weird
bathrooms
cafe next door. Yeah,
and I was very confused because they had like half barn swinging doors to get into the bathroom, and I was like, "What is happening?" But then once you get in, it's like all like individual like stalls. The swinging doors really threw me off. I was like,
that's a little much.
They are in not necessarily a great part of town and open 24 hours. So you get a lot of people who are coming in from the streets just to hide, to get off the streets, especially in winter. So like they need those doors to sort of know, did somebody pass out on their way to the bathroom?
Oh, that makes sense.
We need to go rescue them. What's going
swinging
on?
doors always remind me of like back of house, like, oh, you're going into like the kitchen, or you're going like where the managers are. So that's why it was like, where are these swinging doors to the bathroom?
Are you going in the right place?
Right, like, am I allowed back here?
We used to have big gay gamer board game events there's this, so if you go into the diner, go to the back, there's a big back room that I swear to God has no heat in it, It was always ice cold back there. But they're like, you can have this whole back room to play games as long as you're all buying something. And their food is good, and their milkshakes are great. So it was never a hardship, except it was so cold back there. It was like January. It's like 7 below outside. And it was like 2 inside. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll have a milkshake. Why not?
Yeah, cancel out the
Let's
cold.
just go for broke.
Okay.
Their fries are good, though.
Global Challenge 3 is also this weekend. Starts on the 5th, technically 7 p.m. Central Time on the 4th because it's UTC. You need to sign up before the tournament starts in order to get your Ultra Ball backpack. We got a picture
It's
of it.
just a yellow backpack.
We've got a picture of what it looks like. It is exactly what you imagine. A circular
not, though.
yellow backpack.
It doesn't look like an Ultra Ball. It's just yellow.
I think the straps are a different color.
I'm sure they are, but it's just a yellow Pokeball.
How
I mean,
dare you, Hannah, criticize this beautiful backpack?
I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm just saying it's not an Ultra Ball.
I mean, it matches the Great Ball
Yeah, but
styling.
the Great Ball is more...
Great.
No.
No instances is the Great Ball great. Okay, so the Great Ball has red straps, which makes sense because
Yes.
it matches the red, whatever weird, like, red things they put on the Great Ball.
Racing stripes. That's what makes it great. It moves faster through the air.
The Ultra Ball, I think, has black straps.
Black
Yeah.
straps to
I
match
feel like
the
the colors
black of
should
the
be
Ultra Ball.
switched, though, because the majority of the Ultra Ball is black, and the majority of the Great Ball is blue.
Oh, that's true.
So you
Yeah,
think
I see what you're
the
saying.
hair-
I see what you're saying.
The primary color of the backpack would then be the majority color of the Pokeball.
But you can't have a black backpack if you're going to do a luxury ball backpack because the luxury backpack is all black.
If they did more global challenges after this, I would actually be surprised. But we only got 3 in Sword and Shield.
We only got 3 ball geysers,
Yeah,
so I'm
correct.
still mad about.
Unless they go to something else like the Pokeball socks, the Great Ball socks, the Ultra Ball socks.
Ultra Ball socks. Because that's it, you could change.
They should do more special tablecloths. There's the one special tablecloth you can do by replaying one of the gym games,
Oh, yeah.
and that's fun.
I haven't done any of the, like... So you battle the gym leaders, you get the credits, and then to unlock 6-star raids, you got to battle the gym leaders again. But you can do all of their challenges again, and they all give you something. I think the psychic type gym leader gives you berries, the EV reducing berries, if you do the weird Simon Says. Gosh, that puzzle's so bad.
The Simon Says puzzle is more fun if you do it in real life while you're doing it in game. I will say that.
But the olive roll challenge will give you an exclusive tablecloth. I don't remember what Grusha's bad racetrack thing gives you.
Sadness.
It's not great. It's like the worst version of Mario Kart in the entire world. It's not good. Okay, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we will talk about Pokemon Go and all the events they've announced so far. So we will be right back. And we are back from our break, and we are here to say that Pokemon Go Fest takes over August 2023 with a month packed with events. They're worth that much.
Overlapping packed, too, FYI.
Yeah.
Pokemon Company and overlapping events. They may.
Janine's really just like, you know what? All of you people who don't like us, choke on this.
You want to go
Choke
to
on
all
my
3?
scheduling.
Too bad. Gosh, where do we even start with this? They finally announced Pokemon Go Fest.
Yep.
Which I think the last time they announced it was the beginning of April, so a little slow this time. But,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
they had more months to go through because instead of doing it at the start of the summer, they are doing it all at the end of summer.
It's true. I want to say that Seattle Go Fest, the US one, was what, like July 18th?
Yeah, it was July.
And then Germany was before it. So Germany was, because Germany was 4th of July weekend. Because I remember flying back from Germany being like either being like the airport is dead because why would anyone fly on the 4th of July? Like people are like cooking hot dogs. They're not on a plane.
Yeah. Berlin was July 1st that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess timing wise that's fine. I mean, I'm sure Pokemon Go fans are always mad. You want a group of people that are constantly mad. Pokemon Go fans are very mad. So I did see people were like, when are they going to announce it? But now that we know it's all in August,
It's all in August.
Everything's in August, not just Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Okay, so the first dates here are London and England, August 4th, 5th, and 6th. London, England. I think they have the parks if I click learn more. But also that same exact weekend, August 4th, 5th, and 6th, is Osaka, Japan. Mm-hmm. And then not on Pokemon Go's website, but I will tell you here because it's on my calendar that the Pokemon World Championships is the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then Pokemon Go Fest New York City is the 18th, 19th, and 20th. And then there will be the global Pokemon Go Fest, which is worldwide on August 26th and 27th. So there was people being like, don't get rid of the worldwide one. Niantic was like, we got you. We love money as much as the next person. You can give us $15 for that weekend if you want to do that.
Yep.
So that's all there.
And the community day will have to be the same weekend as Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah. 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 I didn't even think about that. I think you're right.
Because they're not going to do community day on any of the Go Fest weekends. Unless something real weird happens.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Okay, so there has to be like one person in the world that is going to do both Osaka and London, right? They're going to like...
Yeah, they're going to try. I mean, technically you go back in time when you leave Japan to go to London, so it's possible.
It's definitely possible. Good luck.
Good luck. Here's the thing.
If I could, I would.
I so want to buy a ticket for New York Go Fest. Mm-hmm. And if I had a job, there would be very little keeping me from going to New York for that weekend. But already I have to tell future employers, FYI, I have to go to Gen Con at the beginning of August. And then I'm going to Dragon Con at the end of August. I don't know that I can weasel. Here's the thing. If I have not gotten a job by the time August rolls around, I may still do this.
then you might as well go.
I might as well go because I have no money, and I might as well just blow it on something fun because I'll be super depressed by that point. Because my other secret thing is I'm trying to get a job. There's a job for a company called SeatGeek in New York that I'm really trying to get a job there because I want to fly out to New York for a week for training, and I really want to work for them. So I'm trying to work this angle to like get a job with them and then work it at the same time that Go Fest weekend would be so that I can write it off as a business expense. Like I got plans working in my head right now. I want to go back to New York. I really wanted to go to London.
Yeah,
but I'll be at Gen Con in a much worse city.
I wanted to go to all three. I was hoping that the European one would be in like Germany again, and I was like, cool, I feel more confident traveling solo to Germany. I've done it before, met people there. It was really cool. The overlapping thing is unfortunate. I mean, it was a really basic question to Niantic. It was like, hey, Niantic, why are these events the same weekend? And they were like, parks have limited availability. We did the best we could. And it was like, that's a very like, yep, I get
fair.
it. Like if you're like, hey, I want to plan an event, they're like, this is the only weekend we have in August. They're like, well, I guess that's the weekend we're taking.
I think that these parks have better access via public transit too.
Oh yeah,
at least two of them.
I don't know anything about the Osaka, Japan one, but everywhere I read it was in a really great place, and there's multiple ways to get to that one. I'm not sure about the London one either. Randall Island, which I believe is where the New York one is. I don't know
I
if
checked.
that's like
They have a bus every 15 minutes.
they have a bus, but I think the problem with Randall's Island is because it is an island, you cross this bridge to get over to it, and then once you're on that island, there's like nothing there. So from what I read is like if you want food, you have to like leave the island.
Oh, interesting.
It's the true New York experience. Look, I know people. So my friend who lived in New York I think she lived on Staten Island for a while, and she would literally pack an entire day's worth of food, 2 changes of clothing, because she's like, once I'm over to my job in Manhattan, getting back home is a 3-hour experience. She's like, I just had to pack everything that I had planned to do for that entire day to go into the city, find places to change, and you wouldn't go back home until late that night. Like, New York's public transit is good, but it just takes
Patience.
a lot of time. Where is Randall's Park? Like in relation to
the west.
East, yeah.
East.
I'm looking.
like-
Randall's
like
Island Park, yeah. It's east of Central Park in the middle
Like
of
true
nothing.
Go Fest fashion, booking a ticket is incredibly confusing, and if you are not constantly talking to the people you are booking, if you're not constantly talking to the people you want to play with, it is possible where you flip the experiences and all of a sudden you can't play with them because it is I don't think there's anything wrong with the half of the day in the park, half the day in the city. I think that is fantastic. It worked really well in Seattle. It was great. I'm glad they're bringing it back. It's just, you literally have to talk to your group of people and all be on the same page in order to do this, because if one person books morning in the park and everyone else books morning in the city, that one person now is excluded from your play group. So we'll go through the New York one because I'm assuming that's the majority of our audience is listening to that. There is an early bird discounted price available. Now, that being said, if early bird sells out, which it already did in Osaka, it doesn't mean the event is sold out. It just means you have to wait until the second round of tickets come. This was just like if you bought it now, you got like a $5 discount or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they'll make up the $5 when we get to the end. Pokemon GO Fest is coming to New York City. We're planning a big event for the Big Apple. It will split into 2 different experiences, Randall's Park, and then throughout New York City. Attendees will enjoy exclusive gameplay, special bonuses, and more as they adventure alongside thousands of other trainers and spend half their day in Randall Island Park and the other exploring the larger New York City area. Ticket purchases include both Randall's Park and the New York City experience. The only difference is the time of day at each location. Early bird tickets are available now until June 15th. These are discounted for limited, so snag them early to take advantage of the cheaper price. So they are normally $30. So until June, or I guess until they sell out, they're $25. The park experience, or the whole experience starts at 9 a.m. It's saying that it ends at 7 p.m. So I think that is just 1 hour late. Was Seattle not 10 to 6? I swear Seattle was 10 to 6. So this is a 10-hour day, and I'm almost positive Seattle was an 8-hour day. There are special add-ons. So you can do the Raid Lover add-on, which is $15. That will give you 18 raid passes a day, not remote raid passes, the in-person raid passes. You will get... So to be... Again, this is not clear, even though it says 18 passes per day. You will get 18 passes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for $15. So that is a great deal if you like raiding. If you plan to explore the city and jump into raids, which you should have no problem doing since you will be in New York City. If you live in the middle of nowhere and you're listening to this podcast and you're like, man, no one in my city raids, let me introduce you to one of the biggest cities in the United States, where there will be raids everywhere and there will be thousands of Pokemon fans there. I'm selling this better than Niantic and I get no money, and I also hate giving Niantic money, but you will get 18, what is 18 times 3? I don't know, 40 something, 56, 54, math. I think it's 54. That's a lot of raids. Anyways, so if you plan on raiding, I think this is worth getting. You will also get 5,000 additional XP. You will get 6 additional candy for 5-star and mega raids. You will get 3 additional XL candy for 5-star and mega raids. And then your bonuses will be active through Friday through Sunday. So, pretty good deal. Now, the opposite of a good deal, if you would like to get scammed out of your money, let me introduce you to the Egg Enthusiast, which is $15 as well. That will give you 1/4 egg hatch distance. You will get an increased chance of 10k eggs. You will get 3 times the hatch stardust, 3 times the hatch XP, 3 times the hatch candy, and it will be active all weekend, Friday through Sunday. What that does not include is incubators.
Any at all. Any kind of
Zero.
incubator. Yeah. So you're just going to have to keep paying for that.
Correct.
Do we think they forgot?
No, they did this before.
No,
The last time they did the Egg
they did this for
Enthusiast.
Vegas. They did this for Seattle. They did this for Berlin, I think.
Yeah, incubators are too rare. They're too valuable compared to raid passes, despite all the discourse.
Yeah, it would be nice if they gave you like a handful of incubators. I think that would make this a better deal.
Even just 5
but
incubators.
If you spent $15 and then you didn't know you needed to buy incubators, you're relying on your one free incubator. And I don't
To be
think
fair, 1/4 hatch distance does speed that up a bunch. But it's
but
still
you're-
just one.
But you're getting more 10k eggs.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Seattle Go Fest page from last year, and it started at 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Isn't that the same?
Oh, did it start at 9?
That's what it says.
Okay. I don't remember ending at 7. 7 seemed late, but maybe it is the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Seattle's Go Fest was 9 hours. I think it did end at 6, but they forced everyone to take an hour break. So they turned off all.
Right.
Yep.
They turned off all, which I think was really healthy, honestly.
Yeah.
Because again, play at your own style. If you want to grind super hard, that's fine. But at a certain point, Niantic should be like, eat something, please. Please stop catching Snorlaxes, and please just take 10 minutes and go to Subway. Promise you will feel better for the remainder of the day if you just stop grinding for 1 second. Citywide gameplay. This is new. For $20, extend the Go Fest fun and enjoy the city experience throughout New York City on the extra day or days of your choice. This add-on provides an extra day of the same citywide gameplay experience that is available on your primary day. However, there is no additional special or timed research. This add-on enables additional citywide gameplay. The Randall's Park event will only be for your primary event day on your ticket. And then the last add-on is a t-shirt pre-order. Pre-order your in-person event exclusive Pokemon Go Fest t-shirt now. Pick it up during the event. Each t-shirt purchased will also come with a code that can be redeemed for a matching in-app avatar item. T-shirts are limited and pre-orders will only be while supplies last. No returns, no exchanges, etc. The same t-shirt design in a different color will be available for sale on the Niantic's website. They've done this before, by the way. You could get the t-shirt off the website. It was a different color. The ones at GoFest were a different color. I like this. I like the pre-order, get a t-shirt in-game, pick it up when you're there. They know exactly how many at least they should pre-order because t-shirts are very high. If you haven't been to an event, that people love T-shirts, they just do. It's like the whole like I've been to a concert, I want the T-shirt kind of thing. I do like this. I do like the pre-order and everything. I don't love how we have no clue what the T-shirt is.
Exactly. Yep. That
Like-
makes my decision on whether I want the T-shirt or not. I'm not going to wear it if I don't like how it looks. And not all of the Go Fest T-shirts have been good, just to say that lightly.
Yeah. So you can add on. I'm a little unclear. You can add on 2 city experiences, correct? Because each one is just the $20 is just for one day. So if I wanted to go Friday to London, I'll just say 9 a.m. in the park. My mobile provider is the Vodafone. That is my name.
Because it says extra day or days of your choice. I don't know.
So if I add the T-shirt, and then it does ask you the size of the T-shirt. Oh, and you can add up to 4 T-shirts. That's kind of crazy.
Wild. I wonder
So
if you
I
get
picked
4
so you do
codes.
add each day. So I picked I wanted to play on Friday in London, and then it says, do you want to add citywide gameplay for Saturday? That's £22, which is $20 USD. And then it says, do you want to add citywide gameplay for Sunday? That's also £22. And then there's the raid lover, and then there's the egg enthusiast. So I should have done this in American. I picked London because it was the first option. So if I want everything, if I want 1 ticket for myself for Friday in London, but I also want the T-shirt, I want citywide for Saturday, I want citywide for Sunday, I want raid lover, I want egg enthusiast, I am paying £131.
I'm pretty sure in the US it'll be $127 with all of the options there.
Yeah.
And that is not including your incubator costs.
Or any of your flights or hotels.
Yeah, well,
Or
hotels,
Stardust,
hotel
or
is
Lucky
gonna
Eggs,
get, yeah.
or
Hotel
incense.
is.
Yeah, the great thing about Japan and even Germany, and to be fair, I went to Japan 4 years ago. I went to Germany 1 year ago. But in my experience booking travel, their hotels were significantly cheaper than an American hotel. Now, we're talking an American hotel in New York City.
Yeah.
Not that Seattle's any cheaper. Seattle's also a pretty expensive city.
Yeah, Seattle's expensive. New York is the thing about New York is once you're in Manhattan, you can pretty much walk everywhere. It's not a huge place. Mm-hmm. So once you're like in your room and settled in, like that is the cost. New York isn't cheap for anything. Food's going to be expensive, although you can do a lot of street vendor stuff, which is get a hot dog at your own risk.
Yeah, and like Vegas is like that weird exception because like they want Vegas to be like a little bit cheaper because they want you to gamble.
Yeah.
So they kind of like rope you in with like a slightly cheaper flight, a slightly cheaper hotel, and then like they get you with food and gambling, and like you want to do like any show, like shows are super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
They just
That's my problem. If I went to New York for this, I would so want to see a show. There are so many good shows on Broadway right now.
so as of
This
this
would be
recording,
like an outrageously expensive trip for me.
Sunday afternoon here as we're recording this, the only one that has sold out right now is Osaka, Japan. Not super surprising, but Japan loves Pokemon. That doesn't mean that all of Japan is like sold out. Like I said, only the early bird stuff is sold out. It is unfortunate that Japan and London are the same weekend, although I'm sure Niantic didn't want that because that would require all hands on deck for like one event is over. Okay, well, we still need the next event. Well, like they are technically not. I don't think they overlap that much because of time zones.
It's going to be a
still-
long couple days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
like a
is.
very long weekend. And then after that is Worlds, and then after that is New York, and then after that is the Worldwide, which we didn't even talk about. The Worldwide one is $15. It's Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 6. No add-ons, not just $15. It was $15 last year, right? Because people complained that the year before that it was $5, but that was because like Google
Yeah.
Podcast or Google Play like sponsored it or something.
Yeah.
Which is
No.
like kind of weird to me that they are they struggling to get sponsors here? Like how did they get Google to sponsor that one year? And they haven't had a sponsor since.
I mean,
I thought they were selling our data. Sell it to a sponsor so we don't have to pay $15. I don't know. We don't know what Pokemon are featured.
Nope.
We don't know what the research looks like. We don't know, is London having a certain Pokemon spawn? Is Osaka having a certain Pokemon spawn? There's supposed to be some treasure map thing that they're like hinting at, and then you can kind of see in the background of the logo that there's like binoculars and a treasure map with an X. And then on the logo itself, they were like one step away from using papyrus. Good thing they didn't. But they have like the little treasure tracking lines, and then they have like two little diamonds, which seem like Dianthe.
Mega Sableye.
Could be
not
Mega.
Mega
Sure.
Sableye.
It's actually just Carbink. You do the whole
It is
research
just
at the very end.
Carbink.
you get a-
Welcome. This is
you
how
get
we're
a
releasing
Carbink.
Carbink.
Is shiny Carbink pink?
No, I think it's black.
Yeah.
It's like black and blue, right?
Yeah. These diamonds are pink. This is Dancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing Niantic, though, we'll get a Carbink at the end and be like, we thought that was the...
Oh, yeah.
That was the rare one. Is there a pink? Oh, on Diance's chest is the pink diamond. I see it.
I think... I don't think this is surprising. I think we've always known this. I guess I just want to reiterate this point. It doesn't matter what is at the event. It's just the event. They literally showed nothing. And, like, people are... Osaka sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is
We don't even know what the
selling.
shirt looks like.
We know what we can pay for. Kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, we don't know what the event looks like at all. Not any of the specialized ones, not the worldwide one. We know what the add-ons are. That's about it. I
Yeah.
don't expect the worldwide one to be as good as any of the local ones.
for sure. I don't think it needs to be as good though, because if it is as good, it takes away from the in-person one, right?
But you want people to be able to continue to enjoy this big yearly event when not everybody can afford to get to the in-person ones. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to afford to get to an in-person one this year. I really want to. I've never been to one before. But not everybody can afford that.
Yeah, no, it's the whole concert experience. You want to see Nine Inch Nails? You pony up the money. No, I guess the difference is like they go to multiple cities.
They come to you in a lot of places. Like, if I am not traveling to New York to see Nine Inch Nails unless it's like we're doing a 17-hour show and we're playing everything that you like. Like, that is not a thing. And also, you get to capture one of the band members and take them home.
I think the only Nine Inch Nails song I know is from like Guitar Hero. Yeah, I mean, I just don't have a lot of faith in the $15 global thing.
It's going to be there.
I'm sure it will be fine, and I'm sure you will get your $15 worth, but I don't think $15 to get Community Day shiny odds is... I don't even think $15 to get, like, Go Fest shiny odds. And Go Fest's shiny odds are not as good as Community Day. So, again, to anyone who's not been to an in-person Go Fest, like, we don't know. Like, Niantic will never release shiny odds. We just know that it's about 1 in 25 because we've done so many community days and we've gathered so many data from the community that we can pinpoint that it's about 1 in 25.
Yeah.
And I want to say that past Go Fest have been like, I want to say it's like 1 in 80. Somebody might correct me in like the YouTube comments or something, but I want to say like past Go Fest were like about 1 in 80-ish for shiny odds, which is still really good.
Yeah, you still will get probably at least one shiny.
Yeah. But also, like, we have known from other events that they boost certain Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Like Vegas.
And they've been doing that more and more.
Yeah, so like Vegas, I don't think it seemed like in Vegas. I don't actually know. I don't know if there was any people that did research. It seemed like Cast Form was not boosted. Like when you looked at people's shinies, it was like, oh, cool, you got like shiny Trico and shiny Nincada and shiny Cacturn, but it felt like no one was really getting like shiny Cast Form. But also, like, Unknown is always sought after too to be shiny, and it never feels like Unknown is boosted. Or if they are boosted, they're boosted like differently. Like, right, this Pokemon might be 1 in 80, but Unknown is like 1 in 200. Like, again, it's so hard to pinpoint because you need so many people reporting, and Niantic is never going to say. They don't have to. Well, and they probably the Pokemon Company doesn't want them to either, because...
Oh, undoubtedly. And also, one other point on the global Go Fest is just that, like in previous years, this is an event that is going to be available to everyone, whether you pay for it or not. You're just going to get more things if you do pay for it. Last year, whether it was actually worth paying for it was debatable, I think.
Is that the one we went to the zoo for, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 days.
It's 2 days.
We did the first day in the art park because I was
Yep.
streaming, and then we did the second day at the zoo.
At the zoo, which is also streaming, and that girl gave you the stink eye.
Oh yeah, she did. I remember
And that
having a
was a
great
good
time
choice.
I remember having a great time those 2 days.
I enjoyed it. I don't think it was as fun as an in-person one would have been, but I definitely got together with the community I had at the time. I played the game both days, and I even gifted a pass to a friend because I thought, I guess it was worth it to a certain extent.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, again, the experience is if you can get it's a set event that you can get your friends to all do a thing with.
That's
you.
the best thing for a lot of people about this
yeah,
game.
That is the only good thing about this game.
I mean, when I was talking to Will was like, I think I'm going to go to Go Fest. And I was like, I thought you hate this game. And he was like, yeah, but I want to see people. And I was like, yeah, that's this game in a nutshell.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, maybe Will can pay for my trip to New York.
Yeah, he just bought a house.
If I don't have a job, I'm gonna figure this out.
Well, they announced it, so I don't love that it's like all in August.
We know the dates now. August is completely packed.
Yeah,
August is completely packed. I do kind of wish it was more spread out. I think we looked at Go Fest. I think we looked at last year's Go Fest, and it was at least 2 weeks minimum between every event. So the fact that it's like 2 Go Fests, Worlds, another Go Fest, and then Worldwide Go Fest.
Among all the other things that happened in that's the end of August is State Fair time.
It's a lot.
It's just a lot.
Yeah, Worldwide Go Fest was a ways before Worlds last year.
Yeah, and I think in past, Japan has always gone last for Go Fest, and US has always gone first. So this is a flip. But
maybe it'll go off smoothly, or maybe we'll finally get the worst bugs of the event this time.
Look, if you're a true Pokemon Go player, you always want to do the first Go Fest and the first day because you know that it will break, and Niantic will have to compensate you in some way.
Maybe.
you gotta roll the dice.
Did you get compensated for Vegas?
For Vegas, the compensation was you could play the rest of the night in the city, and that was until... So the event ended at 6, and I think they extended the city till 10 p.m. So they gave you 4 hours of that experience. And then I think they gave everyone the egg enthusiast who bought it.
Yeah.
They gave everyone that over the worldwide Vegas weekend, but only if you
Yes.
bought it.
Which was a huge bonus, honestly.
It
Only
was
if
it
you
was
bought
actually
that
like
one.
the legit good bonus. To continue on. Okay, 2 more bits of news here. We got Kleavor making its Pokemon Go debut during a Kleavor raid day. Kleavor, originally discovered in the Hisui region, featured in Pokemon Legends Arceus, is coming to Pokemon Go on Saturday, May 6th. So, after you're done doing some Intellion, you're squeezing in some Walk and Wake Iron Leaves, do a little bit of Global Challenge number 3, you top it off with a little Kleavor. Pokemon just wants your entire life. How dare you play any other franchise? Just
I
Pokemon.
mean,
Some of those you can spread out.
I am not doing this unless I'm doing it in between panels.
I'm going to probably do a one and done. Go to one in person. I don't like how they are making this raid day. They're boosting the numbers of remote raids you can do just for the raid day, which
Hey,
sits
that's
poorly.
a bonus, Hannah.
Yep. Nope. Not going to pay for that myself. Don't like how that's becoming what it is. They're advertising that you can get Kleavor Shiny, which is fine. New Pokemon Shiny available, all great. But you can't evolve your Scyther.
Nope.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Nope.
So if you've been saving up a good Scyther or a shiny Scyther, waiting for a day where you could evolve Scyther into Kleavor, you're still stuck waiting for maybe a community day someday.
I mean, the shiny for Kleavor is bad. It's green.
It's a better green.
We're done with green. We need to move past green.
Yeah, but if you wanted a good Kleavor, you will have higher odds
True.
with raids than by catching them in the wild. But still, if you had 100% Scyther that you were saving to evolve into a Kleavor, or whatever its best PvP IVs would be.
I mean, we're just going to get, what, a Hisuian stone at some point?
Gosh, I hope so.
That would be
Can
really
they please?
helpful.
I wish they would take the 7 million items in the main series games and reduce them down to here's your Sinnoh Evo Stone. Kleavor will appear more frequently in raids. You'll have an increased chance of encountering shiny Kleavor. Speaking about odds, I think the data miners were like, this is about 1 in 10 for these raid days. So a lot higher than the 1 in 20. You can earn up to 5 additional passes from spinning. So if you play your cards right, you can technically do 7 for free. You spin the day before to get your free raid pass. You don't use it. You use it the next day, and then you get your free raid pass then, plus you get the other 5. So you can do 7 Kleavors technically for free. And then remote raid pass will go from 5 to 10. That will be available all day. So instead of spending $10, Niantic has blessed you with the ability to spend $20. But no more than 20. How dare you spend? You can only spend 20. Not a single cent more. I do think these events are good because they give you 5 free raid passes. And I think that is good enough to encourage you to, like, when we always think of, when we talk about, like, no one raids or no one does it or my community is only online, I don't know how Niantic does that better. To be like, here's a brand new Pokemon that is shiny right away, and we're giving you 5 free raid passes. Like, I don't know how else they could, like, at that point, it's all on you and your community. Like, they are giving you everything, every reason to go out and, like,
These
do
are
something
also
together.
3-star raids.
They are 3-star, yeah. So you really only need, I mean, if you're not level 40, you might need, like, 2 people. But if you're level 50, you could probably solo these. But I think remote raid passing aside, I think this is a good event. Like, you realistically, hopefully, ideally, in a perfect world, you're texting the same people that you're texting to Go Fest, and you're saying, "Hey, Greg and Will, what are you doing on Saturday morning? You want to go to Mall America for 30 minutes because we can get 7 done in 30 minutes." And then Greg says no.
No, because I have to. This Cleavor is on the day that I'm going to MagicCon.
But if Greg wasn't going to MagicCon, he would say yes, and we would go to
I
All
would
America.
say yes.
Yeah.
You would guilt me into it.
If they could evolve, if you could evolve Scyther, I would say it would be a pretty good event because then you could actually get the Cleavor that you want. But nope.
Instead, you're going to get the Cleavor that you deserve.
You need to play the game the way Niantic wants you to play.
Correct.
Which is going
There
outside.
is no other options.
Remote Raid Pass, everything aside, it's a relatively good event, I guess. I don't know. Raids are not their strong point right now. And they know it.
The only cost is your time.
Yeah. And like that CEO on Twitter said, my time is worth $5,000 an hour.
Last update here is trainers. You can help out Spark during the Instinctive Hero event. Spark is busy running around with his Elekid and could use some research support. There's a new event, and for the first time in Pokemon Go, Larvesta will be able to hatch from eggs. Also, randomly, Shiny Mantike will be available.
Why? Cuz.
Why?
Yep, just cuz.
Don't think about it. Quiet.
Oh,
don't know, like,
it's an egg
Larvesta-
hatching event. You gotta get Mantike from the eggs. So there's a little bit. There's a little
Larvesta
bit.
and Mantike is my favorite ship. Larvesta, the Torch Pokemon, and Volcarona, the Sun Pokemon, make their Pokemon Go debut. Larvesta will hatch from 2, 5, and 10K eggs, which I think is the first time they've ever done that. That's kind of
Yes,
cool.
it will also be the only Pokemon in those egg pools. So it'll be the
Wait.
only thing you're hatching out of 2, 5, and 10K eggs for that event.
Where am I getting the Mantikes?
From 7Ks.
Oh, I see. Okay. You need 400 Larvesta candy. There's the 400 we all speculated. You do need 400. Mm-hmm. Increased chance of shiny from 2, 5, and 10. That's the event bonus, they're saying.
It does say that. Maybe the egg pool is more than Larvesta.
Oh,
Their blog post is contradicting itself.
Oh, no. I think they're saying that the 7Ks will have increased. To be clear, Larvesta cannot be shiny.
Yeah.
So the egg pool here is 2, 5, and 10 will only have Larvesta, like Hannah said. And then 7K eggs will have Mime Jr. I'm assuming that is location-based, although it's not saying. Happiny, Mantike, which can be shiny for the first time. Timber, Carablast, Shelmet, Axew, and Goomy. Goomy cannot be shiny.
Boo.
But
Goomy is
Niantic
the
is
only
saying,
one of that group.
oh yeah, wait, this is contradictory. They're saying increased shiny chance
Right?
of 2, 5, and 10. All right, well,
So either there is more than just Larvesta in these eggs, which makes it a worse event than I want it to be, than I'm thinking it is, or there's maybe increased chances of shiny in the 7Ks, or there's just no increased chances of shiny at all. One way or another, the blog post is confusing.
okay, hold on. There was a question asked in the Niantic area about this. And Niantic responded, it will not be the only Pokemon.
Okay.
There will be additional
Okay.
Pokemon in these pools.
That makes it a worse event. I was really
Yeah,
excited about that.
That's much worse. That's not a good answer.
So we got the clarification here from Niantic. There will be other Pokemon in the 2, 5, and 10. I think the blog post is just saying Larvesta is the new one in the 2, 5, and 10.
Have they announced the May Community Day yet?
No.
No.
No, we don't know what May is. Okay, got that all out of the way. So bonuses are increased shinies from 2, 5, 10, 2, 5, and 10, not Larvesta, 2 times hatch XP, 2 times Stardust from hatching. There will be a special research where you can get a Elekid wearing a Sparked theme accessory,
One single Elekid.
just like one single Lapras.
Yep.
What is this Elekid wearing? Like a wristband? I can't can't see.
I'm trying to see on the picture.
Yeah, you
it's
can't
got a
tell.
wrist. It's got a wristband. It's got the instinct symbol on its forearm.
Yeah. Yes. There will be
That's
field
it?
research.
That's it?
Well, I mean, Lapras was like a bow from Blanche's hair that you couldn't see because you can
You
never
would
see
never
the
see
backside
it,
of
yeah.
Blanche. In field research, you'll get Magneton, Chansey, Electabuzz, Magmar, Snorlax, Mantine, and then Chimecho. Look, if anything, Niantic has been consistent with Rising Heroes being the worst season so far. So they're just
Look, you
They're
are supposed
just
to be the
doubling
hero,
down.
not the event.
I was really excited about this event until that clarification.
I'm glad you
No.
brought it up because I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we got the clarification live on the show instead of like after. That's it. That's all. There was a lot of Pokemon Go news. We got through it all. There's probably some other news that it's not important. We talked about the important stuff.
I mean, Pokemon Go right now is in a weird place. We'll see what happens to it.
I think the raid pass thing just ends up being like the footprint thing, where people will never drop it. It will just be a constant talking point, and Niantic will. The footprints ain't coming back.
Yeah, I at this point do not expect it to come back. Do not expect it to be addressed. I just think the game is in a weird place. The storylines have completely stopped for the most part. They're not having as much research you can do. More things cost money. I'm feeling weird about the game, and I'm someone who has loved the game and all the communities that it's helped me be a part of. So I don't know where it's going from here. And I'll try to get to a Go Fest.
Yeah, I mean, Go Fest are the
Fun.
in-person events are what Niantic has done best, minus
Yep.
issues here and here with like you again. I feel like the Vegas thing was like completely overblown. Like I was there, it didn't work for a little bit. They fixed it. Once they fixed it, it was relatively smooth. They gave us 4 more hours of playtime in the afternoon. Sunday was flaw free. Like, things happen. It's really hard to plan live events. And all the other Go Fests, like the Berlin Go Fest, the Seattle Go Fest, the Germany Berlin, the South Korea Safari Zone, they all were flaw. They are all like, I don't want to say flaw free. I would like say like 98% good. Like in Berlin, there was like one dead spot in the park where it was like, oh, no service, like for the like 60 seconds until I walked through, and okay, like all spawns are back now. Like just avoid this like one part. Like the park was so huge it took like an hour to get to the other side anyways. It was very easy to avoid that like one like bridge. They do really shine in live events, and I absolutely love their live events. I would like to go to all of these events. I don't know if that's possible, but it seems that at least our community in both like Slack and Discord are like over the moon excited for like New York event, and it's really cool. Like at the end of the day, whether or not you're upset with Niantic, at the end of the day, like it is really cool to see all these people plan their weekend together, and like they're very excited to like meet each other and to hang out and play Pokemon Go, and like that's kind of the core of this game is like I want to play this game with you in person and go out and explore a city. Just the thing not talked about is the price to do that. But like if we lived in a world with like no cost and traveling was easy and cheap, this would be a better experience for everyone. But there's limitations, of course. Hopefully whatever comes after Rising Heroes is much better than this.
Yep.
Falling villains.
Does Rising Heroes end before it ends before August though, right?
I think
Like
so.
Rising Heroes ends in like June, does it not?
I mean, it's only each season is 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And didn't Rising Heroes start at the beginning of April? Or did it start in March?
I thought
Trying to find that.
I think when you go into I'm loading the app. I think when you go into the app, it tells you how many days are exactly left.
Yeah.
31 days and 18 hours.
There we go.
So
So
maybe
one
we
more
just have to.
month.
Maybe we just have
50
to suffer 31 more days.
We'd have
and
to
then
get
the game
through
will
May.
be better. Look, they announced the raid pass thing during the worst season. Can't be a coincidence. They just wanted to make sure that the season was memorable for all the wrong reasons.
They succeeded.
If we can only go up from here is really what I'm saying.
Okay, you say that, and we know that that is not true. You cannot say we can only go up from here. This is not by any means rock bottom.
Yeah. I was gonna say, they could remove remote raid passes altogether, but I feel
They're
like
not gonna
half
do
the
that.
audience thinks they already did that. No, they like. I think I'll never get another legendary again. No, you can still remote raid. They didn't. You can still get one legendary every week if you wanted to. You can still get free remote raid passes from the research as well. They're not.
There's a chance of it.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not completely gone. You can still do it. Not very efficient, but still doable. Anyways, thanks for making it to the end. If you are watching on YouTube, I guess let us know if you're going to Go Fest. If you're going to New York, London, Osaka. If you're not going to Go Fest or liking the Go part, you're probably not even listening to this part of the show. 'Cause
Yeah,
we have
you've
timestamps.
skipped.
You probably skipped this, which is understandable. That's why I put the time stamps in. You know, if you don't care about, TCG, easy to skip that. But if you are going, let us know in the comments if you're going to the Go Fest, which one you're going to. Maybe also if you bought all the add-ons. I'd be very curious if you just bought a base ticket or if you went all out and spent $120 on everything. Did you get that t-shirt that you have no clue what it looks like?
I'm sure it's going to be lovely.
Niantic has never dropped the ball on a t-shirt design. I actually don't know who makes the t-shirt. Is that? I guess it would be probably Niantic, right?
But they probably hire somebody to do the design, right?
Yeah.
What?
It could be in-house.
They have to have an in-house design team.
I don't think the
Don't
person
they?
who does the loading screen is
Yeah.
in-house.
Yeah,
Are they
they
in-house? Oh, okay. They get 3 months to work on one loading screen at a time, and they always knock it out of the park. They always do a
I mean,
great job.
there's other art in the game. There's the logos. There's the characters.
That's all.
There's the team
copy-pasted.
leaders.
I only play the game for the loading screen and the loading screen only, Hannah.
The team leader redesign was something.
Willow looks better,
Because it's not the real Willow.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we'll get the Ultra Beast conclusion here. We're missing 3 Ultra Beast? 4 Ultra Beast. Yeah. Poipole, Naganadel, Blacephalon, Stakataka.
Ugh. We
okay.
don't need those.
We will be back next week. Thank you for making it to the end. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Greg. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
Super effective.
Remembering to sign up to get that Ultra Ball backpack, even though it's not an Ultra Ball. Super
It's
effective.
an Ultra Ball. It's got an H on the back somewhere, I'm sure. You just can't see it. It's underneath. It's on your back.